We're going to begin tonight with this breaking news. We're still trying to get an official response to this, but exactly an hour ago, the Ministry of Health released a media statement saying, and I quote, "Many more people than first thought didn't receive invitations for free bowel cancer screening during the bowel screening pilot program." How many is many? Well, somewhere in the region of 15,000 people. Now, 2,500 of those people have previously been identified. Today's news adds approximately 12,500 further names to that list. The earlier and lower figure of 2,500 was reported earlier this year, but the new number is a 500% increase on that figure. The ministry says, and I quote, "More than 30 of these people have developed bowel cancer. We understand one of those people has died. The pilot in Waitemata, Auckland, was the vanguard of a nationwide response to the country's internationally high rate of bowel cancer." We're trying to get someone from the Ministry of Health to speak to this on air, but Mary Bradley is the spokesperson for Bowel Cancer New Zealand, and she has the ministry's figures.
They're now saying that 15,000 people have been missed, and that 2,500 people have been tracked down and informed that they missed a screening and that they could do screening again. So, yes, the number unfortunately seems to keep rising.
A pilot screening program, 15,000 people missed.
Yes, it's quite alarming, really. The government has, the pilot screening people did inform the government, the Ministry of Health, that they were having issues tracking down addresses numerous times over several years, and their warnings were ignored, which is very, very concerning.
Sorry, can you just repeat that? So the people running the screening pilot were advising the ministry that they weren't getting to everyone. Is that the case?
Yes, that is the case, John. That there's emails that have tracked between the pilot screening people and the Ministry of Health that there were concerns around people getting tracked through addresses, and people that didn't update there or don't have updated addresses are people that can't afford to go to the doctor, are people of Māori descent that don't necessarily get to their doctor either. You know, it's an equity issue, and they're the ones that desperately need the screening that aren't getting it. And we've been calling on the ministry to please get in touch with these people, to make more of an effort, to put more funding into it, to be able to track them down.
And what's been the response?
They seem to have washed their hands of it, John, which is, really sad. They're just saying, from what we understand from the ministry, is that people need to take themselves to their doctors if there is screening available in the area and make sure their addresses are updated, which is all well and fine for people that have the time in their hands and know about it to do, but not necessarily for the people that we're concerned about.
Mary, we were all just finding out about this afternoon. Just out of interest, when were you told that so many people had been missed in the pilot screening program?
We were aware of it in around March that this had happened, and we've been we've actually said that this is a concern in March, mid-March, and look, it's just been trying to get people's attention to say this isn't good enough. More needs to be done, that's for sure.
So what we know is that, and I'm quoting from the ministry here, about 15,000 people may have missed out. Now, this includes the 2,500 previously publicised. Those people, for the most part, have been tracked down. But it's our understanding, and once again, this is all just breaking as we speak, that the remaining 12,500, many of them won't know that they've been missed out.
No, that's right, John. They wouldn't know. And this could potentially harm their diagnosis. They may now present with advanced bowel cancer and could have been caught earlier if they'd had the screening test done. So lives could have been saved.
What are we to make of all of this? Because, there are two issues here, aren't there? There's the big brushstroke issue, the broader macro issue, which is bowel cancer in New Zealand, which we have a strikingly high incidence of. And there is the micro issue, which is that this is a pilot screening program to show us how we can better address the high rate of bowel cancer. It seems on the face of it to have been a dismal failure.
Look, no, I don't agree with that because, as you said, New Zealand has terrible rates of bowel cancer. We're the second highest cancer in New Zealand, and it affects so many people. We've got 12,000 people, we've got so many dying every year, and we desperately need screening. But it does need to be done a lot better. There is a review that's going to be coming out in June that the ministry has thankfully committed to, where that needs to be a transparent process, and it needs to be very thorough. And from that, we need to go forward, and we need to continue this rollout. We're very concerned that there might be more delays, and already the last 5 DHBs in New Zealand aren't going to get screening until 2021. That's in 4 years' time. This has taken a long, long time to get screening in New Zealand. We really, really need it. We desperately need it. We've got some of the worst rates in the OECD, but they need to get it right, and they need to get this right very, very quickly. This isn't good enough. They knew about these extra missing people in January before the review was announced. Why were we not told then? Now, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered.
Mary Bradley, who is from Bowel Cancer New Zealand.